Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to what is today going to be us taking a look at those Dage birthday items recapped. So we're going to go through loads of past events. We'll have a look at classes. You can see Legion token ones on screen in a moment because we're starting at Join Dark Birthday. We'll move on later to things like Future War, where you'll be able to pick yourself up some Painsaws. There's a Dark Caster set and also a Legion token quest pet. Plus, lots and lots of other bits, including Char page badges. If you are someone who has recently watched the original part 1 and 2 of this video, then I wouldn't worry too much about going through all this again. A lot of it is going to be quite similar. However, there are still some rare items that we will come across, and there will be the new events actually added in this year that we'll have a little look at as and when they come out. As always, if you are watching this in the future, I'll be trying to update these most years, but just keep your eyes peeled in case there are any items that could have potentially been rare tagged. I will, though, try my best to point them out as we go along, including the armor on screen right now, which is a rare one from the Dark Hunt merge shop. If you head to the second room at Dark Birthday, Rand also has a merge for you, and you never know, you may fancy some of the items in here. A couple of the weapons do have a really nice animation. Join Event Hub is up next. A lot of the shops do cross over with Dark Birthday that we've just been to, but there is also a seasonal shop here. It crosses over with the Lucky event, so you will have some luck themed items within this area as well at the moment. That is the same with the drops. You will notice that some of the drops may also be for the Lucky event rather than Dage's birthday, but that's just because we're running multiple events all at once, which often happens at Event Hub. You'll notice that there is this Underworld treasure chest, or just Underworld chest it's called, and there are plenty of AC tagged bits of gear for you. As a reminder, folks, if you are new to these recapped videos, anything with a green rare tag in writing next to it you can no longer get, so don't spend ages sat in a room farming for those, because they will not be dropping for you anytime soon. Okay, there is also Frostfang, another room over, and as you can see, there are a few more drops that you're able to get from that particular monster as well. Not too sure how many of them you'll necessarily go and pick up, but I do quite like that Betrayer sword. You will also notice that not all of the maps are going to be seasonal, but if you just go with the presumption they are, and then if they're locked when you try and join in the future, then at least you'll know why. Some of them are permanent maps. It just depends which storyline they're crossing over with. Anyway, over at Dark Fortress, if you head inside, you'll find yourself a Dage the Evil. The top two statues, I believe, are just permanent drops, so they'll be there in the future. However, the next few items you're seeing are all part of this set, and this set right now is going to be rare. So you're only able to get this armor and these few helms in the year 2025. So if you're coming back in the future and they're not there, that is going to be why. Next up is Join Dage Fortress. This one is a bit of a quirky map because some of the items are rather large. Interestingly, for some weird reason, the boss for me was locked, even though I swear I have been through this so many times, but there you go. So I couldn't actually walk to Gerberus, but if you do head over to Gerberus, these are the items that are on his drops list for you to be able to go along and pick up if you fancied any of them. Join Abyss Lair is up next, and each of the monsters we're going to walk past has got something to mention. First of all, we have got these Abyssal Guards. They have a couple hairstyles just in case you wanted to grab them. The monster right here next to the NPC also has some weapons. I'm not too sure necessarily whether you may fancy getting them, but they have got that AC tag, so at least you can store them away if you do pick them up. There, of course, is going to be a merge shop here with some Legion token items within the shop, which I guess gives you a slightly different angle to go along farming. Some of the weapons in this shop do seem to have quite a nice glow to them. That could just be me imagining it though. I quite like those evoker weapons that were animated a second ago. I do quite like when you have like wispy flaming hands. I always think they're pretty cool. Plenty of different helms for you to choose from, and there are also a wide variety of capes as well as a pretty quirky Pharaoh pet. The Devourer of Souls is a bit of a weird one. There is a cape, but in addition to that is also this armor, which goes by the name of the Urban Underworld gear. Join Future War is probably my favourite map of the event, as well as the overall birthday map, but this is where you can go along and merge yourself a Dark Caster set if you would like to for Legion tokens. As to be expected, there is a long list of different helms, and yes, there are more Eternal Dark Caster ones, so you can complete the look if you would like to. I personally say, other than the armor tab, the two you're really going to be looking at is the pet that is available from here and also the house, because the house is a Legion token version of the Dreadnought, and then if you look at the pet right here is the Shogun Paragon pet, which yes is a Legion token quest pet. I'll show you what that has on it in just a moment. And there is the Dreadnought house that I also mentioned. So if we go along and have a little look, just for anyone that's not aware of what the Shogun has and you'd like a little bit more context to it, you have got this quest where you can get yourself a couple blades, and then the rest of it is all about Legion token farming. That one has 20, and then time for spring cleaning is currently up to 100 Legion tokens, but I think that's because of the boost. I'm certain it's normally on 50. If you head over to join a Future War FD, you'll be able to get yourself the Laser Ragnarok, and then join a Future War Dage is where you can merge yourself for the Enchanted Eternal Painsaws, or just a single version if you would prefer. At this map, there is also a boss that we need to have a quick look at, and would you believe that is going to be Future Dage. And Future Dage has got plenty of bits that would be worth grabbing. You have some more Eternal Darkcaster hats, so if you'd like a hat instead of the helms that are available within the main merge, you can go along here and grab them. You got some quite nice weapons as well, another little samurai scarf, you got a backblade, and also this mask right at the end, but I'm not sure I'll be grabbing the mask. Join Underworld is where you can get yourself those Char page badges. There are 4 that you're able to get, and they are daily. You will have to work through them one at a time. You can't do all 4 at once from memory. I did these absolutely ages ago. But once we close out of this merge, we'll just explain the badges. Daily quests over on the right hand side. You'll need to work through each of these. You've got one for Conquest, War, Famine, and Death. As you can see, you'll get Conquest Pride, and then once you do, underneath this quest should be another one, which is why there's massive gaps in between because I've already turned them in. But yes, once you've done that particular quest enough times, I think it's 7 for each of those, and you have to go through them in order, so it will take a while, so make sure you get started on that immediately. You'll be able to work your way through these badges. They do come back every year, so if you don't manage to do them all in time, don't panic, you will be able to try again next year to get the ones that you're missing. The bosses also have some drops. Famine has some really weird ones. You can get yourself a Legion cola bottle, and there's also some skull puffs. I mean, if you want a bag of crisps, then clearly this is the boss to come to. Conquest only has a couple bits for us to look at. There is this, what I assume is a cape, could be a helm, could even be a pet, I really don't even know. But there is also the face of Conquest, which is just a white mask. Next up, you have got Death, and Death has got Death's Skull, and there is also going to be for you this really cool Hollowborn Soul Stealer weapon. I always like that one, I think that one looks really quirky. DarkPath is our next location, and there is a bonus quest that gives you a Paragon Greatsword Battle Gear cape, which I think looks rather nice. The Void Knight, I mean, this is a generic monster, but it does have Carnage's Void Morph if you would like that. I guess it's colour custom by the colours on it, but don't quote me. And then there's this enormous worm thing, and if you defeat the enormous worm thing, there are a few Legion drops that it will give you. Join 7 circles. The only reason you're probably coming along here is if you are merging towards Helm with the Legion Beast, or any other farmable that requires you to come along to this map. It came out a few years ago now, but ultimately there is the merge here, so if there are any bits you would like to go along and just pick up for a particular set you want to make, then you never know, some of them could be worth it, because I do quite like a few bits that are within there. Join 7 Circles War is our next location, and again we'll just flick through the items in this merge because it is ever so slightly different. As we mentioned earlier, there is the head of the Legion Beast helm. If you're someone who collects badges and have never been along and farmed for it, you can go along and complete that, and once you have over at Join Curiosities is a quest you can turn in once you've obtained this particular helm to be able to get yourself the Char page badge for it. If you do defeat the beast does have some drops, and these are the items that you can expect to get. I do quite like the scythe, I think that's quite cool, as well as those runes. I assume it's just a dual wield weapon. Next up is Join Legion Library. This is our latest map, it came out this week, and as you can tell this one is just a merge. The boss doesn't have any drops that I'm aware of, and there are a couple ground runes available for you. Next up, we are going over to Join Future Legion. Again, Future Legion, this one gives me throwback vibes. If you come along and find yourself the Gunner, he will have for you an armour and also a hooded skull helm. If you go just inside here, a lot of these mini bosses all drop the same thing, but just in case anyone was wondering what those items are, there are 4 different, not 3 different, there are definitely 4 different AC tagged weapons that all look pretty similar, to be honest. If you head all the way through the map, you'll find yourself the Legionator, who does have an armour for you of the Legionator, which is actually pretty tanky, so if you would like some form of undead, slightly different themed Legion item, then that could be the one for you. Join Void Vault is where you can get the Enraged FiendHunter Set. I absolutely love some of the drops that drop from this boss. I think they are actually really quite cool, and you do get a really nice purple set. We don't get too many purple sets that aren't chaotic, so this one was a very welcome addition. That's not the only set available to you though. If you are a legend, you can also pretty much become the boss if you would like to. There is a morph version of that set right at the bottom of the drops list. Join Legion PvP, another one of those that's just here all the time, but you never know, you may not have realised that there was a couple of shops. There is the Underworld 1v1 shop, and to be honest, it's incredibly similar to the team shop that's also available here, but I think the team shop has a couple extra items in it. I was playing Spot the Difference, and there was definitely at least one extra item. It is now time to map hop yet again, and this is over to join Deimos, where there is a boss and also Deimos' Den rewards. This one has plenty of AC tagged items. You will need to defeat the boss a fair few times most likely if you want to go along and grab any of these, and having said that, the boss does also have some drops that you'll be able to go along and pick up if you do defeat him enough times. As you can see, this is the list right here. Really cool antlers. I mean, that is like, if you are thinking of Frostival already only in March, then you never know, that could work really well with a Frostival set, even though it's blue, so you never know. But it does give you that really cold, wintry vibe. We are over at our first Barracks map, and I'm not going to say its full name because I'm almost definitely going to say it wrong, and then everyone will mock me. There is a reasonable number of monsters we're going to have a little look at here. They all drop the odd little item. I'm, again, not too sure if you would be going along and necessarily picking those up, but the boss at this map does have a couple decent bits and bobs. It's just some of the generic monsters here also weirdly have some random bits thrown into them. First of all are the Knights, and the Knights have got for you the Vengeful Soul Sickle. I really like the Soul Sickle, in particular the dual wield version, but sadly that's for Legends only. You'll also find our first Overdriven monster that will give you a cape and a helm. There is also these Overdriven Knights, kicking it off with a couple yellow weapons, and then as we head down there's a load of rares in the middle for some reason, but again there's these ivory ones, which is a bit of a theme as we go through quite a few of the monsters here. The Overdriven Paladin is another one with even more ivory bits. I mean, it's ultimately just looking like stone morphs to me, but the far right hand portal is the one that's going to take you through to the boss, and then this is the boss drops list. As you can see, all 80 tags, some really quite nice looking weapons. If you are a fan of spears or staffs, this could definitely be a place to come along and pick up a couple new Legion themed ones for your collection, and then there's a few different helms. Join Legion Barracks is up next. This one does have a few different armors within the merge, and again, of course, they're going to be Legion themed bits of gear. Quite a lot of the weapons are animated as well, so it could be worth going along and grabbing them, especially as you will get that bank storage. Loads and loads of different helms, but that's just what we're used to, and then just the one cape within that merge. Again, heading through the map here, you'll find your way to the boss. Not a particularly massive boss drop list, to be honest with you, and a lot of the stuff here is actually just free player, not even AC tagged, but they do look pretty cool, and I really do like the bow that was dropping. Next up, we are at Join Darkwar, where we have got not only the Nation merge to look at, but also the Legion merge. I have a feeling the majority of us, when we turn this video on, we're not expected to see Nation items featured, but hey look, we've made our way over to Darkwar, they exist, so we might as well show you them, and you never know, there may be a particular item here you really do fancy grabbing, because I know a lot of us are a fan of Nulgath and Nation themed items and sets, so there's always bits and bobs. If we swap over and speak to Commander Rand, you'll be able to see there is even more armors available for us. The Flaming Soulfire is an animated one, particularly nice I do feel. There's also some pretty different weapons within there as well, lots and lots of animated bits. The theming / colour of those Legion items are slightly different, so it could be worth adding to the collection. Join Darkwar Legion is up next, and this is going to essentially be a couple monsters within this map that just have some house guards for you. In fact, it's mostly going to be house guards until we get to the boss. Dirt Liquor will be dropping for you a load of different Legion Blade Master guards. As you can see, loads and loads of different position ones. You could just have a house full of Legion people, maybe facing off against Nation ones. In case you didn't notice, we've swapped over to join Darkwar Nation. The Legion Doom Knights will be dropping you house items essentially of themselves. A couple of them are legend, but there's also a few free player ones. War is the boss that will be dropping you the Nation Blood Guard, so if you would like some Blood Fiends, then that is the one. And then lastly, and certainly not least, there is a Dage the Evil here which is changing things up. Specifically, this is where you can get yourself the Fiend of the Underworld set. Anyway, folks, that brings us to the end of this one. If I've missed any obvious maps, please do let me know down below, because I'll make sure to include them when I update this video next year. And of course, we'll take a look at the new maps as and when they come out. But as always, folks, please do leave the video a like, make sure to subscribe, and I shall again for another one incredibly soon.